So it is 2015, and I thought it would be a cool, like, fun idea to do kind of all the work I did in 2014. And I'm gonna do this for a couple reasons. One, to kind of make a point on, you know, how much drawing you have to really do to get better at drawing. So I am just gonna start flipping through my sketchbooks that I did this year. Some of the drawings I've given away, so they're not all gonna be in here, but I feel like this video will give you guys an idea of really how much drawing you should be doing. Really drawing every day. I didn't think I accomplished drawing every day, but yeah, anyway, so I'm just gonna start flipping through it and talking about some different things that I was working on this last year. And yeah, so this first drawing is a bunch of hand gestures, like just messing around, trying to figure out different hand stuff. I have an app on my phone that, like, you can pose a 3D hand and stuff, so that's what I was doing here. I don't know why I drew this, just I think I was drawing. But anyway, I'm just gonna keep flipping these and kind of talk about one thing that I think I discovered a little bit about staying motivated with drawing. So I went through a little dry spell here, and I haven't been drawing a whole lot. And that was basically because, so I started a children's book for my daughter. Actually, at the beginning of the year, I started a huge book idea. It was a graphic novel, and I realized that was just going to be way too much of a project, and I ended up kind of changing gears. I started doing a drawing every day. A lot of these are done from that, is where I would just cut out my lunch break or whenever I had a spare moment, I would sit down and draw. So a lot of these came from that, just taking a few minutes every day, probably half hour to an hour. Most of them were half hour, but sometimes I got to spend a little bit extra time. I'd spend time after work, and I would sit down and draw, and I feel like I have never drawn this much in my entire life. So one of the biggest things that helped me this last year to draw as much as I possibly could was routine. Sticking with the whole drawing for 1 hour every single day or 30 minutes every single day, it just kept me motivated. It kept me thinking about art. It kept me thinking about drawing. And as I stuck with that, I drew more and more, and I didn't have any dry spells because I was drawing things I wanted to draw, just whatever popped into my mind. Some days were a little bit more difficult than others. I couldn't think of anything to draw. This was one of those days where I was just like, I'll just draw random stuff real quick, work on some poses and stuff. Other days I had things in mind, like this day I was working on different character concepts. Same with this day here. But for the most part, it was all just, you know, staying motivated and keeping the routine. The routine was key for me, because I realized once I hit those dry spells where I wasn't drawing a whole lot, is because I had broken my routine. And either I went on vacation or I did something, and it took me a little bit to get back into that routine. And once I was back into it, I was totally drawing every day again, and it felt really good. It feels really good when you're motivated and when you can stick with something. And now the other thing that I've realized recently, and this was for my most recent kind of dry spell, was the burning myself out with very specific ideas or work. So on the second part of the year, I started a children's book, a much more simple children's book for my daughter. And I'll show you those drawings here in a little bit, but I was drawing every single day on those, and they were very similar drawings. They were fun to do, and I've done a lot of them, but I feel like I got away from drawing, like just sitting down and drawing different ideas every day. And I really enjoy doing like whatever pops into my head type drawings. I don't like drawing the same thing over and over again. And I also don't like drawing other people's ideas. This is one thing I've kind of touched on before, is the reason I draw is to kind of express or bring to life what's in my own mind. And that's where I get enjoyment. So when I force myself to do things that I don't really enjoy doing, that's when I kind of get out of my routine, or I burn myself out on a project, and I get away from drawing, and then I go, like I went a month without really drawing a whole lot. And so that really, like, you know, I feel like it stops me and it's hard to get back into it. So it definitely, the key to drawing every day or getting better at drawing is maintaining consistency with when you draw. And for me, that's been the biggest improvement in my drawing skills, has come from just maintaining a routine and drawing every single day. So I'm going through these kind of quick, but another thing to kind of look at is you can kind of look at how much drawing I did this last year and kind of judge yourself on that. I have, you know, 2 little girls, I have a full-time job, I have a lot of other side businesses that I work on. Currently in the process of buying into a business where I'll be doing all the branding. And so I'm busy, and yet I can still find time to draw for a half hour every day, most days. And I feel like if, you know, no matter how busy you are in life, you guys should strive to do that. It'll make you much better artists. And if it is your goal to become a professional artist, it's something you have to do. You have to have drawn more than me this last year if you're serious about becoming a professional artist. I'm not a professional illustrator. I draw because I enjoy it, and it's, you know, if you guys are serious about drawing for comic books or drawing for Disney or whatever, then you need to be drawing much more than I did this last year. So this is a good, like I said, a good assessment of, you know, where you should be at, how much drawing you should be doing. So another thing too, though, about getting better at art is sometimes, like in my routine, I try and mix in working on stuff and also having fun, because it's definitely key to understand that you can draw the same thing over and over again and never really get better at drawing. Sometimes I definitely fall into that category where I'm just drawing things I'm comfortable with, and I'm not pushing myself. You always have to remember or be kind of self-reflective as what you're working on. Force yourself to do other things and look at other artists and see what they're doing, so that you don't get stuck in a drawing rut where you're drawing the exact same thing over and over again, the same perspective, the same, like a lot of my drawings are frontal views, so sometimes I'll push myself to draw, you know, 3/4 angles and stuff like that. Another thing I was doing this last year was I was drawing follower sketches, and that helped me, you know, so I draw fantasy a lot and I enjoy drawing fantasy, but it helps me draw fantasy better when I draw from reality. So drawing follower sketches and looking at people's pictures and drawing that way definitely helped. I remember a lot of these drawings, it's so funny, there's so much variety when I look at them all at once. Oh, there's another one of those days where I had no clue what I was drawing. It's just messing around drawing stuff. And it's also good to kind of go back and look at some of the original ideas you had. This was a goblin suit, I think. Pretty weird looking. I like this one. This was a cool drawing. That was another follower sketch. I don't remember why I drew that one, but oh, I had issues with her giant feet for a girl. Started drawing interesting, weird shapes and stuff, and that's how I came up with that one. You know, if you guys have watched my sketchbook videos, you've seen a lot of these. So, but like I said, this is kind of just putting them all into one video and, you know, getting an idea of how much drawing I did last year. It's another sketchbook completed. So at one point last year, I started doing my furball creations, and this was the drawing that started that. And it was, I went back to it later just because I was exploring different ideas and stuff. And that dog I had really liked, so I decided to do a bunch of those, which was a fun little series. Oh, look at that miss. So one thing that'll be kind of interesting to see if I actually got any better. I mean, from the beginning of the year to the second part of the year, this was, I think, the latter half of the year, just doing follower sketches and adding little details and stuff. But I don't know. I mean, it's one of those things where you really have to assess like what you were working on, you know. And I don't know if I did that too much. I've started my daily sketches again. I'm on my first week, and I'll probably have a video coming out here pretty quick with my first, you know, because I was doing the weekly sketchbook videos, so I'll have that one probably this Wednesday. But yeah, it's interesting to kind of see everything all at once from this last year, because like I said, I've never drawn this much, I don't think, in my whole life. Maybe in college I did, but even in college I was working on graphic design and things like that, so I didn't really have time just to illustrate. Really like this one, that was cool. But yeah, so I think I'll have, one thing I want to do is have a questions and answers video kind of come up pretty soon. Maybe I'll announce that also in that next weekly sketchbook video, and kind of show you guys, or kind of allow you guys to ask me some questions, maybe about this last year, about projects I'm working on. But yeah, because I get a lot of questions, and it'd be, I think, a good idea just to have a video where I answer them all. Oh, and then Guardians of the Galaxy, so this was around summertime. Incredible Hulk. Well, that was a weird one. Lots of strange, fun ideas. A lot of this stuff was, you know, it's, people always say, well, how do you come up with these ideas? I don't think it's really that difficult. I mean, I don't know, maybe it's a skill, who knows? I just feel like I just sit down and I kind of think about all the things in my head, and some days I have cool original ideas, other days I just start drawing, and I think this was a day where I just started drawing and kind of seeing what kind of popped up. So another thing I did this last year was I did my creative art challenges. These were some of the sketches from that, one of the first ones. And that was a really fun thing. So I need to do a few more of those this year because I know you guys liked them. So yeah, I'll probably revisit that here pretty quick. But I ended up filling up, I think, 3 sketchbooks this last year. 4 sketchbooks, actually. So, oh, here's a really popular one. God, my daughter loved freaking Frozen. Hopefully she never sees this. But you can kind of see how different ideas, like this Frozen one, and I thought, oh, that was kind of fun doing my own take on a Disney character. So then I did the Wall-E one. That guy's interesting. I don't know why I did him. But yeah, I feel like there's definitely, the drawings are definitely a lot more polished right around this time. I don't know why I started doing a lot more polished drawings. I mean, some of these, this is when I really started those furball creations. This was the first one. This one I really liked. I did all colored versions of these. So all these pencil drawings you guys are getting to see, those are just the pencil drawings. I did spend a lot of time doing work on my Cintiq, which is digital illustration. And so yeah, I mean, the pencil drawings, this is a lot of pencil drawings, I feel like, but I also did a lot of computer graphics, graphic design. Obviously, graphic design I do for 8 hours a day. Branding and, you know, corporate identity and stuff like that, that's what I do for a living. So it's, you know, this is on top of all that other stuff. And some days I'm just way too burnout to really think of anything original. But man, this last couple of weeks in the sketchbook right here, I did a lot of pretty polished drawings that I liked a lot. So I think I was really inspired by these little furball creation type guys. So I was doing pretty good work. I think there was a few more. Yeah, man, I did a lot of those. Huh. I think this was a kind of interesting idea. This was, obviously that other one was one of the last furball creations. And then Destiny came out. And then I don't draw for 6 months. Just kidding. No, I kept drawing, even though Destiny, I was playing Destiny, which, that's another interesting point. Video games, movies, TV, anything like that, you definitely have to manage the time you spend. If you're spending more time playing video games than you are drawing, and you're serious about drawing, you should definitely take a step back and evaluate what your goals are in life. Because, you know, if you're playing video games more than you're doing all the things that you really want to do for a living or spend time doing, you might have to, you know, say, hey, you know, be honest with yourself and maybe take a break from video games. because a lot of times, even for me, I have to watch myself. I have to be like, because video games are brain dead. I mean, you just sit down. That's an interesting page. You sit down and you kind of just lose yourself in them, and you can play it for 3 hours. But imagine if you had spent 3 hours doing a drawing. I mean, you could do a lot of these drawings in here only took me an hour and a half. I mean, you can really produce good work. So I think I was kind of go through some of my pad here, some of the bigger drawings I did. This was from a video where I was doing figure drawing off of on-air video. So they have a figure drawing channels. There's a couple figure drawing channels actually that were really good. So here were some of the, I don't know, I think I did these as character concepts. Here's more video stuff where I was showing you guys how to do colored pencil flower that I did in a video. I worked with colored pencil a lot for a little bit. Here's a drawing my wife did. So that was pretty good. And then, oh, Raphael. How do you guys saw that video? Oh, here's the Justin Bieber one. I still get, I think it's an interesting thing. Oh, Elena, my daughter, drew that on there. So I think it's an interesting thing. I talk about some of the videos that got more attention or where people had issues with them. This was one of the videos I still get like a lot. I can tell people who don't watch the video and they go, oh, I hate Justin Bieber, this is stupid, or this is cheating, a lot of people say, and that's just them not watching the video. I did have one girl that was really upset, and I went to her videos and I looked at some of her drawings and stuff, and all she did was celebrity portraits. And that's the thing is, like, in that video I tried to come across and be like, hey, if you do celebrity portraits and you enjoy it, that's your deal, you can do that. My whole purpose of this video was to show people how a lot of these were done so they wouldn't feel bad about their own drawings. And I feel like most people took that away from the video. So, and here's one of the finished Creative Art Challenge video drawings. Here's some of my first initial sketches for the children's book I was working on. I don't know if anybody ever saw those. Oh, and here's one of the first drawings that I did for that book. So during the winter months, I had been working on these children's book illustrations. They're not in order, but these are kind of and getting back to getting burned out, these are kind of what burned me out, especially this drawing. I don't really like doing it, but I needed it for the story. And this was, I think, one of the 5th or 6th drawings I did. But these drawings take a long time. There's a lot of detail in them. And they're fun to do, don't get me wrong. What I've realized about myself is I feel like I need to mix in, like, work on one of these pages and also do my daily sketches to get different ideas so my mind doesn't get burned out on just drawing princesses in a kingdom, you know. So what I'm gonna try and do, because I still have a lot of work to do on this, is I'm gonna try and work on one of these for a week, off and on, one of these drawings, and then take a week off, work on my daily sketches to do, you know, just kind of free myself up to explore some different ideas. That way I don't burn myself out and I can just kind of keep going on this thing. I know I'm gonna finish this. I'm really pretty far along in it now. So I just have some planning, some pictures I need to plan out, but each one of these pages probably takes, I want to say 3 or 4 hours, maybe a little bit more, maybe less, depending on the page. So yeah, that's a lot of the work I did this last year. I gave a lot of drawings away to my nieces and nephews as presents. I gave some away for Creative Art Challenge people. So there's probably like 20 or 30 drawings that aren't in this video that I did. Also, like I said, all the digital work, but you guys can get an idea of, you know, how much drawing I did this last year. And I hope it helps you kind of see where you guys need to be at as far as how much work you should produce. And like I said, you know, things to think about. Are you spending more time playing video games and watching TV or movies than you are drawing? I mean, I enjoy drawing, and a lot of times it takes effort to sit down and start drawing, but once I'm drawing, I really enjoy it. It's one of the more fun things I do. obviously I feel like I've become somewhat of an accomplished illustrator because of the fact that I enjoy it. If you don't enjoy it, you're never really gonna get anywhere with it, I don't think. And that's most things in life. People who are really good at things, generally they enjoy it a lot, so. But anyway, I hope this video helps you guys out. And I think next video after this one will be kind of continuing my weekly sketchbook videos. And also in that next video, I'm gonna be, and you guys can actually do it in this video too, is if you have any questions for me, I'm gonna be doing a Q&A video soon. So it'll just be a video where I answer questions and let you guys kind of, I guess, pick my brain, and I'll try and answer every single one of them. So if you have questions, leave them on this video. And then, like I said, I'll be doing the weekly sketchbook video probably on Wednesday or so you can ask questions in that one too. So anyway, hope you guys like this video, and thanks for watching.